Off-season, off-season, off-season. Well, there you have it, guys. We've just received the official announcement from Fnatic that both Upset and Mickey X will be the next bot lane going into 2025, and therefore replacing our beloved Korean duo of Noah and Jin. The other big news this week, as most of you must have seen, is DARDO stepping down from his team director role. He will still be staying within Fnatic at a different role that has yet to be announced, but he'll be taking a sabbatical, taking a distance from all the pressure and abusive relationship he's had with the fan base to recenter himself, and we wish him the best going forward and hope to see him be much more successful in his next role. The earliest news that we had was about our coaching staff, specifically Nightshare, stepping down from his coaching role and replaced by Grabs, who most of you know for his time during G2, where he was quite successful, part of the 2019 roster, who won MSI, went to the finals at Worlds, and almost completed the first Golden Road, I believe, in the history of the game. So currently we're looking at Grabs, Gax, and Hidden in our coaching staff, Oscarinin, Razork, Humanoid, Upset, and Mickey X going forward. The next big question is going to be, who is the new team director? For some of those who've already seen the announcement video, there seems to be a teasing that we're gonna have some new information quite soon. The name Young Buck has been thrown around online, but we'll see if this gets confirmed. Now, if we take a look back on 2024, we've had numerous second places, and overall not that bad of a year. However, it's not been as successful as we've been expecting. Most of the fans have been yearning for a trophy, and it's been some time since the last time we actually lifted silverware, and we came very close, especially during that 3-0 best of 5 where Fnatic should have won. They had all the goal leads necessary, but just couldn't close the advantage. Going into Worlds, while not qualifying for playoffs, it looked like some players were improving much more compared to the rest of the year, specifically Noah, who had a lot of struggles with his inner demons, his self-doubt, and in my opinion, definitely one of the better players at the end of World. Unfortunately, that wasn't enough for him to keep him around within the team, and he decided to switch out, leave Fnatic to give himself a different objective and maybe also reduce the pressure that he was putting on himself. This somewhat created a domino effect that also made Jin leave the team, as he was requesting specific type of players that didn't necessarily match with what was available on the market at this time. This made it that Upset and Mickey X were the favorite duo, specifically Upset, who from what we've heard was requesting Mickey X as his bot lane partner. For some of you who've been watching Twitch, you must have seen his stream where they've been playing together quite a bit, and it's definitely looking promising, at least at this first stage. Now, if we take those new players individually, what we know about Upset is that, well, in KC, it was a bit hit or miss. Upset for Fnatic has always been quite great for the team, to be honest, pulling the team out of the risk of not making it to playoffs, specifically with his infamous Zeri plays. Another part is that he's always fit rather well with his teammates. At the time he was playing with Hylissang, which actually was another of his favorite supports, so I'm guessing here he's going to be very happy to also have a support of choice coming back into Fnatic. What we are expecting from him obviously is keeping that same level of mechanics, but also what he's going to bring is a second voice, as maybe some of you have heard in the Carmen Corp voice comms. He's always been someone who's been quite vocal, specifically when you have a player like Targamas next to you who doesn't speak that much, to be honest. On the other side, Mickey X, coming from G2, has always been a staple as one of the best supports that the European scene has had for years. While he's been a bit more on the inside, especially this season, he's always been a crucial player, being able to play different type of supports, doing some things that almost look like he's hacking the game on Nautilus, but also being very knowledgeable about the game and having a smart approach to the way he plays. Now, obviously, the big question is going to be, is this team going to function together? Now, my take is that one of the big positives here, we finally have a full Western roster since pretty much the beginning of 2023. On top of that, it happens that these players are rather vocal, specifically Upset, but also very smart about the game. And I felt like the Fnatic roster lacked a bit of brains, in a sense, when it came to the game. There were a lot of hands, a lot of good mechanics specifically, but on the other side, it felt like when it came to making smart plays, something that was a bit ingenious, it wasn't there as much as we hoped it to be. From what we're seeing online, at least, it seems that scrims are happening right now and are going rather well, with Razor saying that he's having a great time, and Gax just recently saying that we're gonna win everything. So guys, I hope you all have your ticket on board the Hopium and Copium train, because Gax is driving us straight there. The other interesting part obviously is having Grabs join Fnatic, not only because he was a former G2, but because he's also been away from the scene for a bit of time. Now obviously he's always been behind the scenes looking at the game and being quite vocal on social media about what he thinks about certain plays, certain teams, and even certain drafts. From what we know, he was actually offered to join the team, I believe back in 2023, but couldn't get the exact players that he wanted to make sure they had a roster that fit his way of coaching and that could bring him the most success going forward. Now, obviously right now is the honeymoon period for everyone, but I'm happy that training has started already before the next year, and that we're going in much more prepared and with a bit of something different going into a new season that's going to have a different format and a different structure in terms of the points, the relevance of certain trophies, and also the path going to Worlds. Now, while we wait for the next team director to be announced, I think we can overall say we're quite happy with the moves that have been made and going a bit more hopeful into 2025. I know some fans will be a bit sad about losing Noah and June, as they had great personalities and were very sweet players. We still have the chance to see them involved in Giant X, and we're wishing them the best, obviously, but not against Fnatic. Now, what are you guys' opinion on all of this? Are you happy with the new players? Would you have preferred different ones? And if so, who? What about Grabs? Good pick? Bad pick? Let me know in the comments below. For me overall, I think I'm quite hopeful going into 2025. Definitely some interesting players who've had mixed results, but I believe the vibe looks quite positive and we can be into massive surprise going into the next season. In any case, thank you for tuning in once again. Wishing you, all those who celebrate, a very happy Christmas and obviously a new year. Come back with a lot of hope going into the 15th season of League of Legends. This is the one, guys. Finally a trophy. I can smell it. Hopefully I'm not jinxing it. No, I don't think so. Anyways, thank you guys again. Enjoy the announcements. Stay hooked on further videos, further content from me, and I'll see you next time.